Okay, we're going to do something slightly different. That's where that went. Okay, sorry. What are we going to do? We're going to do this little thing here. So a different IC. So I've noticed that recently I've been getting in the mail, because I've been buying them. I bought 2 lots of them, 2 lots of 10 of this little IC here. And honestly, I have no idea why I got it until I looked it up today to see what it was. And it's this ICL7660. S in particular, which apparently is, I haven't printed out everything, that's not going to help you at all. It's apparently a negative voltage generator, essentially. So if I was going to do cool things with op amps, they usually require like a negative voltage and a positive voltage between the ground. So if you have your ground in the middle, you're going to have a lower voltage potential and a higher voltage potential. And normally you don't worry about that, like digital circuits, but in op amps and stuff you might, and maybe other applications. And that's what this thing does. It takes from a single power supply, so one positive voltage and a ground, and will provide a negative voltage. So we should be able to get 10 volts peak to peak. So as they say, so this is going to have like 10 volts, so 5 volts, and then a negative 5 volts, and the ground still there. So let's see if we can get this thing to work. And I thought I'd just do it real quick because really the circuit is really simple. If I haven't lost that big bag of, where did I put them all? Oh my goodness. Here they are. All you need is some 10 microfarad capacitors. And if I just did a video, so that video I just done about my little LED light things with the LM324, I needed some 10 microfarad capacitors, so I've got a whole bunch right here, and it's pretty much the only thing you need. Oh, and there's like a xenodiode. We don't need that part. We just need to do these little bits here, and that's all there is to this whole circuit. So I thought that would be fun to see if we can get it to work and just measure the voltage. That'll be a quick video. Because why not? Why not do this? Like, what else could you be doing with your day? I'm going to put it close to the edge over here. That went in remarkably well. And we're going to try and look at, we're going to do this in an exercise and trying to make the circuit look neat and tidy, because if other people can do it, then I can. So I'm going to do this upside down. So the little notch is over there. So there's the notch, there's the notch. So pin 1, which is facing me, does not do anything, but pin 8 has to go to the positive voltage. Alright, so that's pretty easy. And now we need a 10 microfarad capacitor. We're going to need 2 apparently. I didn't actually quite see that one until a bit later on. I'm like, oh, it keeps saying there's 2 capacitors, but there's not. And apparently you can put these things together to sort of increase the capacity. Because if you put a too big a load on the output, it's not really going to work very well. But we'll see how much load we can put on it before it starts to not work very well. So pin 2 is on my side. So we're going to make it look kind of cool. We're going to put the capacitor here. So the positive side's going into 2. So this is all polarized. Oh, I should put the little wire in, the little cable thing in first. Cable. Alright, so we are going to be doing a few other things. I know that's alright. This should work. We can keep it nice and compact. So here's the orange one is cutting across everything, and that's going to go to there. And actually I might bend that one a bit more so that the wire goes in. There we go. Nice and good. And that's a bit of a problem, isn't it? So which is the best wire? Well, this might work out well. So I use 2 oranges. So the other side, the negative side, goes into pin number 4. So that's that one there. So that's all good. Look at that, that's neat and tidy. I can do this. And then we've got to have pin 3 going to ground. I haven't really read over the... I kind of get how it works. It does this sort of pulse thing. So again, I feel like I should be doing this after I've done my big video about how interesting things about how capacitors work and how they generate, how you can get negative voltages out of that, or how you can get down below ground for a little bit. And this is kind of doing that over and over again, I think, like alternating backwards and something. But I haven't quite read through it all, so I don't quite understand it. but it should be interesting to see the result. And then we've only got pin 5, which is this pin here, and I'm going, well, really it just goes, first off it goes straight to ground, and then there's another capacitor, which, oh my goodness, it always has to do this. Alright, there we go. So that one's going to ground, and then we need the other capacitor to feed off that one. Keep taking them out of the box. I got an awful lot of these things. I think I went crazy and thought, oh, what I will need is many 10 microfarad capacitors, so I'm going to buy a ton of them. And then I probably thought at a later point that I had not, in fact. Why does it have it upside down? Should I actually, hold on. Alright, it's got the positive bit pointing to the ground. Well, that makes sense, because in this case here, so this is the output voltage. So I don't want that going to ground. Now what am I doing? What am I paying? This is the exciting point. So I'm going to put this one in just to keep it separate. So what's coming out of here is in fact the negative voltage. So I do in fact want the positive leg to go to the negative voltage on here, because this is actually going to the ground, or the negative line from the power thing is the ground, and that's actually going to be a higher voltage potential than the output, which is supposed to be a negative voltage. So that does make sense. So it says a plus going to ground, which is a bit unnerving at first. Because I'm sure these things blow up, right? Which I still have to experiment, because I did see someone saying they don't blow up straight away, that they could last for quite a while that way. Which is like, well, no one else has said that, so I want to find out what's the case. Okay, that's kind of the circuit, but we need to actually test it. So we'll just use, we'll just try and see what happens when we put an LED in with a very high, where did I put them? No, I don't want that. Hold on a second. Oh. What did I do with them all? I had these 1K resistors that I was going to use, but we won't. Alright, we'll just use, hold on a second. Yeah, we're literally right there. I think that's what fell down the back of the TV. The back of my desk, sorry, not the back of the TV. So what are we going to do? Well, I don't want to, oh, here we go, we'll use this. This sounds good. So we'll use a 2200 ohm resistor, because I want the load to be quite low. So this is the, so this is going to go to ground. Right, so here's the, oh, I hate these ones. Right. So that's kind of going to ground, but the ground is going to be a higher voltage, so that's going to go to the anode on my my LED. I shouldn't really use that one. I should use like a different color, like the red ones. The red ones are the better. I don't know what the best one to use for this is. So the red one is going. So the long leg, the anode, is going to the positive voltage, which in this case is going to be ground, if this is working. And this is going to be a negative voltage, so it's going to be less than ground. And so that will work. So normally this would be the wrong way around, because the short leg should be, the cathode should be going to the lowest point, which is ground. But we're going to make a lower point, so this will be exciting. So this is going to work. Either way, I'm just going to test it with the multimeter. Let's find out. It does work. Whoa! Well, look at that. That was way too easy. I feel like I should be actually testing what the output looks like. So we're going to, first off, we'll get the oscilloscope out. How much time have we got? Because I wanted this to be a pretty short video. So we will go to 20 volts. So if I now choose, okay, So this should be about 5 volts. This is minus. What have I done wrong? Oh, that's right. Okay, we're actually getting out of this, so 3 volts going up to ground. So if we put in a little wire from here, alright, so this is the positive voltage, and this is the output from the IC, and we get 8 point. Why is that? Oh, that makes sense. So we've got 8.9. What is it? 8.91 volts. So going from the positive to our new negative. So that's quite neat, isn't it? So if I did it the other way around, so if I had my negative thing on the ground, we get negative 3.89 volts. So that works fine. That's pretty cool. Let's just have a quick look, because I'm assuming the output is not that smooth. Where did I actually put the... I don't know if we can do this, because I don't actually know. I seem to have completely misplaced... Oh, that's a bit sad. I seem to have misplaced my little tiny oscilloscope thing. So we can't do that exciting part of the... Maybe that was the thing that fell down the back of the... So I kind of wanted to see what it looked like. Is it quite smooth? Oh, that's what there is. So if I take this away, this is the smoothing capacitor. If I take that away, will it still work? It does, but it's a bit faded. So I guess if we actually had my oscilloscope, where did it go? It's so tiny, it couldn't have got very far. No, I'm pretty sure that was definitely the thing that just fell down the back of my desk. So that's a bit sad. Yeah, I think you probably see there's a bit of ripple in the output. Because of the way it's working. I wish I printed out the page that kind of shows you that. I think this is something here. You can kind of see it's pulsing it. And then it's got these two little... This makes sense. Read this part here. But I thought that was interesting. So now I know what I've been spending my time buying for no reason. Because I got 2 separate things I bought off AliExpress, and both of them came with 10 of these things. I'm like, why did I buy these? What was the point? And I'm pretty sure that everything else that I got in that little bundle of stuff was just me buying random bits and pieces, because I saw this somewhere and decided randomly to buy them off that, and they were like, you know, 10 for $1.50 or something, and then I feel guilty for not buying the rest of the, you know, not buying anything else. So then I buy a couple of other bits and pieces, which is how I got that the LM3909, I think, because I bought 10 of these, and then I'm like, oh, that's not much. Or what else could I buy? Oh, I'll finally get around to buying one of those silly ICs. So anyway, thanks for watching that. I hope that was interesting. So if you do need to get a negative voltage, these work easily. There's a whole bunch of other little circuits in here, which actually seem kind of obvious now. So there's one about of positive voltage doubling, but then in a way this is positive voltage doubling if you just regard the output as your normal ground. But so I have to look at how they all differ. But I'll say that for another day when it's important. But anyway, thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe, and bye. You actually see everything? You can. Cool. Bye.